Hello everybody, and welcome to the Rebooted Reviews. Today I will be going over the combiner between 70794 Skull Scorpio and 70795 Master Maker vs. Skull Grinder. Now if you'll excuse me, I am going to build the combiner, and I will return when it is complete. Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's pretty massive. This guy's pretty tall. I mean, just look at this. Look at how tall he is. Just take a look at the legs first. So the legs, they definitely do the job of legs, and they support him very, very well. I'm actually quite surprised. I initially thought that he wouldn't be able to hold himself up, but I did realize they brought back the slightly useless pistons, except in this case they're not useless because they do add a lot of friction to this hip joint, whereas before it would have just been flopping around and doing nothing. All the other joints in the legs use friction adders, so there's no worries there. The arms are a lot more simple. They merely use pieces from Ikimu up here, a Wave 2 add-on, a bone piece and hand piece from Grinder, and this thing and this thing. Speaking of weapons, this is a big one. They didn't even put this behemoth on the gear function. This thing uses a lot of the pieces from Skull Scorpio, specifically the tail. And it's quite interesting. It attaches to his hand right here, has this thing on the end, and these two at the top. Pretty thick, and it stays together very, very well. That rattling noise you hear is the function. Now I gotta say, whereas the other combo looks like Skull Slicer's arms put on to Skull Basher's legs, Skull Warrior's torso, and stuck Skull Basher's head on there, this one looks like Kulta took the Mask of Creation and took Skull Scorpio and gave himself some upgrades, which is gonna give the Toa that are meant to face him and Skull Scorpio a lot of trouble. Now, he does have plenty of articulation. He has 2 points of articulation for his toes. One in the ankle, one in the knee, another one in the knee, one in the hip. These two armor plates are on the exposed ball joints. They actually fit quite nicely into those gaps. One in the wrist, one in the elbow, one in the shoulder, and two in the head/neck. Now there are a few extra joints, namely these five for the leg piston thingies, and then two here so you can move this almost kind of wing assembly, I guess. It just kind of adds to the spookiness. The color scheme mainly consists of Kulta's colors, which are translucent reddish orange, gunmetal, silver, plus Ikimu's colors of gold, right there and there, and in there, trans blue, and that's actually it. There are a few breaks. These could be seen as breaks, even though they're just meant to be highlights. Blue rubber band, 2 blue pins, one, I forget what this color's called. It's a pin. The yellow gear is definitely a color scheme breaker. There is a blue pin in there. There are some red pins in his ankles, and then up here on his horns there are 2 red pins. Now let's go on to the functions. First function is if you tap the horn, the Mask of Creation goes flying off, and I don't necessarily recommend you do that. You can also hit the eye stalk as well. Next function, if you pinch these two sides together, the staff goes like that, and they're actually kind of independent of each other. I guess you could use it to grab a mask. Here, let's try that. Try and grab Tahu's mask. You can use it to grab masks, that's good. I didn't actually think it would be really that effective, but it is. I'm quite surprised. Props to you, LEGO. This combiner is a complete success. Next up is the gear function. Now, the gear function works the same as any gear function does, which is if you turn the yellow gear, the arm will swing. And now this is not it's not hooked up to the staff arm, because the staff is way too big and way too floppy. This is like combining together Onua's hammer, Golly's trident, and Kulta's mask stealer staff all together. It's all that weight, all in one, plus a little bit more. So they only hooked it up to this one arm, which makes sense. Now this one arm features the hook blade and then this thing, which you can use to pull off masks, of course. And it makes more sense because there's an actual hook right here that can actually go behind and grab. And here he can actually reach the Toa's masks like that. So it does actually work, whereas all the others, they're shorted on their respective Toa, or their function just doesn't work that well. As far as extra pieces are concerned, this is what you got. This is what you got. You got the corpse of Skull Scorpio, the corpse of Akimu, and they're missing the red pins from their eye stalks, Hatsu's mask, Grinder's skull, add-ons, part of Akimu's arms, one of the gearboxes, lots and lots of stuff. Some weapon pieces in here. Lots of Skull Scorpio's trans yellow. Pieces from the mask stand, well, mainly just this piece. The Gatling gun, which is kind of a shame. Could have used this somewhere. Same thing on the other one. Speaking of the other one, these guys are quite the deadly duo. And they're more than a match for the Toa combined. I mean, given this guy's epic slicing power, and Kulta has the Mask of Creation, I mean, come on. And even if the Toa were to beat them, he could just fuse the two of them together into one even bigger and crazier combiner, which would actually be a really good idea. Now these guys kind of compare really well. Their legs are extremely similar, given that they use the Onua feet, and also use the protector foot for extra stability. They both have toes, not necessarily the same amount, but they have toes. They both have horns, and they're both a bit colorful. He's more colorful than he is, but that's because this one contains 3 sets with 3 different translucent colors. Technically, 4 translucent colors in this one, and only 3 in this one. So it's a bit understandable, as well as there being more of the neon translucent reddish-orange. They also both have spikes on their feet, and they both have these spiky, spooky assemblies on their backs. That's about it, guys. What do you guys think? Are these combiners way better than the other ones? Or are they just kind of weird, namely this one? Do you think these are a flop, success? Do you want to see more combiners? I personally really want to see more combiners. I cannot wait to see what LEGO has in store for us next. Thank you guys for watching. Like, dislike, constructive criticism in the comments below is always welcome. Thank you for the support that you guys have had for this whole series. And join me later. It's probably going to be in December, just so I can wait for the whole year to go by before doing an overview of the year's sets because of story details. Please join me in the end of the year for that mega review. I'm gonna go disassemble these two, and I will see you guys then. Adios.